and welcome back. Today I thought I would share some of my past favorite fall tablescapes and DIYs. This is when my channel was pretty new and I love this content and it wasn't viewed by many, and I have so many new lovies that I thought I would take some of my old videos and make them new and share some of my favorite fall tablescapes and DIYs.
To get started on my Thanksgiving table, I'm going to put down my brand new tablecloth that I got from Ollie's. And guys, I am quite aware of the wrinkles. This is just a dry run. I promise by Thanksgiving those wrinkles will be ironed out. But for today, we're going to deal with the wrinkles. And on top of it, I'm going to place my new runner that I got from TJ Maxx, which these are my two big new pieces this year. And I love the colors. I love how it all pulls together. And I'm going to use Mr. Tom Turkey here that I purchased about 6 years ago from Big Lots, and I'm going to place him on this cake plate that I got from the Dollar Spot at Target. And I'm using a wreath that I got from the Dollar General about 3 years ago to like cover the cake plate, but I love the height that it gives the turkey. I love dimension. And I'm going to use these pumpkins, which we got from the pumpkin patch during this fall season, so those are fresh and new. And then I'm going to add these signs and these glittery pumpkins to the table just to give it some warmth. And the signs I purchased from the Target Dollar Spot, and these pumpkins I got at the beginning of the season from the Dollar Tree. So they were $1 each, and I love the quote-unquote bling that it brings to the table, so sparkly. And these gourds I also got from that same pumpkin patch. And then my candlestick holders are heirlooms, and I try to use them every year, either in Christmas or Thanksgiving, just because they have so much sentimental value, and I love the height and dimension that it brings to my table. For my actual table setting, I'm going to use the plates that you see before you, and they have a special place in my heart as well. They also are heirlooms. They were my grandmother's, and they have been around for a long time, and it's just a simple table setting. And for my silverware, I just took some $2 ribbon that I got last year, I don't remember where, and just made a big bow and kind of fanned them out, and that is for my silverware. Those glasses that I just put down, I picked up at the flea market 3 years ago, and I already had all the plates and stuff, so I'm using what I had on hand, and I love the table setting. Simple but beautiful. So that pretty much is my tablescape, and I just added some salt and pepper shakers, pumpkins, and some turkeys that I got from the Dollar Tree, and this is it. This is going to be our Thanksgiving table this year. I think it's warm, I think it's beautiful, but yet elegant, simple in design, but I know it'll bring so much happiness and joy to my home. So that is exactly what we're going to do today, using Dollar Tree products. So the first one I have for you here today is we're going to be using some of these gel window clings, a cute little jack-o'-lantern, some of my cardstock paper, some, leaves from the DT. We're going to need one of these little picture frames. They're like clipboard picture frames, and we are going to make a cute little sign for wherever you would like it in your house. So the first thing we have to do is we have to remove the little adhered piece to the jack-o'-lantern, because that's right around where we're going to stick the back piece on, and you'll see that in a minute. And just a little tip, I don't think I show it, but you have to scrape some of that glitter off in order to use hot glue, because otherwise the glitter just makes the hot glue peel right off. So I'm just going to trace out my pumpkin on my 12 by 12 cardstock. I'm going to grab my Mod Podge, what also came from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to get it down on the little pumpkin, lay my cut out 12 by 12 cardstock on top of it, going to put more Mod Podge on top of that to seal it and get it adhered. Then all the fun begins. So the next step is I'm going to use one of my ink pads and my inking tools, and I'm just going to bring a little distressing ink on the outside of it so that the pumpkin isn't so stark. That is I know it's supposed to be wood grain, looking wood grain, but it is a little white, so I just thought it was a little stark. So I'm just going to ink it up and distress the edges. I think it turns out cute like that. We're going to remove the back piece. That's all we want from that little clipboard picture frame. We just want that little back piece because I want my pumpkin to be able to stand up. I had to remove some glitter so that the back piece would adhere. And as you can see, I had a little trouble at first because I put it on the knife, but it stands up great. So I'm going to remove some glitter again on the back part of the stem because that's where I want to attach some baker's twine, because we're going to wrap baker's twine completely around the stem just to give it an extra element of texture, and I needed the hot glue to stick. So just a little tip, please remove the glitter, otherwise your hot glue is useless. So I'm just going to take the time to wrap the little stem here with my baker's twine to give it some texture and some interest, and we're going to move on from there. Now, the next part of this takes me a little bit of time. I did fast forward this quite a bit because otherwise the video would be over an hour. But I took some leaves and I just laid them where I would want to place them on the pumpkin so that I have an idea where to place my gel letters here. These are so much fun to play with. This is a great thing to do with kids because they feel like you're handling Jell-O. You expect them to be slimy, but they're not. But it was a lot of fun to play with. But what I'm trying to do here is I want my harvest to kind of be in an arch. So I put those leaves down so that I get an idea where I want them, and I'm just going to begin to play with them. One of the hints that I want to give you here is, remember we put Mod Podge down a little bit ago. While the Mod Podge is just a little bit tacky, I would recommend putting these down so that they don't have any chance of falling off. But because they are window clings, they pretty much cling to anything. And I don't know how they do it, but they just do it. But I did mine when it's just a little, see, I'm showing you, they don't fall off. Just a little bit tacky so that when the Mod Podge is completely dry, it's like I just feel like it's more secure. Because you're not going to be able to put any Mod Podge on top of these because they are gel window clings. And let me tell you, I will tell you once again, this was a lot of fun to play with because it was like playing with Jell-O. They just stretch. And the best part about this too is that if you make a mistake, it just peels right off and you can put it back where you want it. It's not like a sticker or like a stencil. Once it's on, you're just gonna have to live with it. If you put this down and you don't like it, it just peels right off and sticks right back on. So clings are a lot of fun. Another little hint with these too is I was gifted these particular clings, and I did see the little yellow sticker at the top. They were only $1, but I don't think they came from the Dollar Tree. I think they were they came from the Dollar General. But the DT does sell gel window clings as well. So now I'm just going to attach my leaves, and one thing that I don't show because I added it later after I looked at it is I do make a little twine bow and add it to where the leaves are off to the side, and I think that finishes off, and I absolutely love how this turns out. fall DIY candle holder for a display either on your table or on a little counter or something like that. And what you're going to need is some fall foliage, of course, from the Dollar Tree. I picked up some of these maple leaves, again, from the Dollar Tree. I picked up the tallest vase from the Dollar Tree and then the next tallest vase from the Dollar Tree. One of their candlestick holders. I got this beautiful ribbon with gold foiled arrows from the Dollar General for $2, and then I picked up the pack of the floral foam, 2 for $1 at the Dollar Tree. You will need fingernail polish remover, a towel, scissors, and some hot glue to make some of these fall candle holders for yourself. The reason why I told you you're going to need some nail polish remover and a towel, it's to remove these ugly stickers from your Dollar Tree containers. All you do is put some nail polish remover on some kind of nice towel, a good bit, and lay it on top of that tag for a good minute or so, and that tag will just lift off and peel away, and you can use that on any of the Dollar Tree glass containers. And after a few seconds, see, voila, comes right off. Great little trick to get all those ugly tags off of your Dollar Tree containers. So now that you got the ugly tags off of your Dollar Tree containers, you're going to open your styrofoam floral rounds, just like so. Okay, so I'm going to tell you my idea before I show you which jars I pick. Is I'm going to take both of these and turn these upside down, and I'm going to hot glue these floral rings on top of them. I hope this angle is working. I'm trying to get it high so you guys can kind of see what's going on. And then I think I'm going to take this one here, which is the second tallest from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to glue this on top of the floral ring, which is the candlestick holder, which will give that one height, but this one will be just a little bit shy of it. And then what I'm going to do is take all of this beautiful floral, I hope you guys are seeing that, and some of these leaves, and I'm going to fill them in where all this styrofoam is, and it'll make like a floral ring around the vases. And then in the vases you could fill with some maybe marbles or some rocks and then put candles in. You'll see what I'm saying as the project goes forward. It's super simple, beautiful DIY. Wait till you see it when it's all finished. Okay, so now once it's glued, you can go ahead and flip it over. I hope you guys can kind of get an idea of what I'm trying to say. See how your base is going to be the candlestick holder, the foam piece is in the middle, and then the glass is on top. And then you're going to fill this foam ring full of the fall foliage on this one and this one. What I need to do now is to begin to cut off all my little flowers and get them sticking in there. Okay, so I'm going to take these beautiful fall flowers and begin to arrange them around the foam pieces. If there's any pieces that you see that you don't think are going to stick very well, use your hot glue gun to make sure they stick. You can use that to help. But these, if you leave the little tips on after you pull the flower off, they pretty much go right in, as you can see. But if you feel like there's some spaces where you need to secure them a little more better, just use a hot glue gun. So I'm just going to begin to arrange my flowers. I just want to show you that I finished them after I glued on all the flowers and the leaves. Here they are. I added a piece of that beautiful ribbon here that had the gold foiled arrows on it. I just hot glued it to the jar for the shorter one. I know the taller one's a little harder to see. You will see it better when I get it displayed on my dining room table. I have one more DIY to show you. And I just added a little maple leaf and a flower here at the top. Here is the garland in the middle, and if I lift it up there, see how the candle holder is down at the bottom. I promise that you will get a better view of these when I get them displayed on my table. So for our next project, we're going to make a fancy candle. You're going to need some more of those Dollar Tree leaves. We're going to need a Dollar Tree candle. We're going to need those pretty napkins that you can get from the Dollar Tree. You're going to need some baker's twine, and we're going to go for it. So the first thing you have to do is you're going to cut out the pieces from your napkin that you want. So of course, I wanted the thankful, the pumpkin, and then the top strip. They're 2-ply, so you're going to pull them apart so that you just have the first top layer of your napkin. We're going to grab our handy dandy Mod Podge again, and we're going to begin to adhere these pieces where you like them. Now I chose one of the tall like emergency candles from the Dollar Tree, but I'm sure you can find any candle that you like. Peel the label off and read and do this. This is so simple. You're just Mod Podging whatever you want from the napkin on it to give it a design and some texture for whatever season. You could probably find napkins for Christmas, whatever. I just chose these thankful pumpkin ones because I thought they were really cute. I do know the DT right now has the other set, which is all leaves, which would be very pretty as well. Before you do the next step, I do recommend that you set this aside for a little while. I think I gave mine like a half an hour just to dry because you are going to handle it. So once it's dry, the paper gets crinkly, which I really like that look. I personally wanted to give it some texture, so I took more of that baker's twine. It's kind of a theme I'm going through with the baker's twine, and I just wrapped the top very thickly. That's why I put that one piece kind of down lower so that I had a place to put the baker's twine. And then I'm going to take more of those Dollar Tree leaves because I just love them. I'm going to find a perfect space for those, and I'm going to attach them off to the side. And then I'm also going to make a twine bow and put it off to the side. You're going to see me fight with that stupid thing. I couldn't decide whether if I wanted it on the side or the front, but you're going to see in a minute where I put it. And I think this turned out adorable. And like I said, I think this would be really cute to use all different kinds of napkins. And another tip on this too is if you don't even have to cut the whole napkin. If you can find a napkin that's say all one print, like maybe the leaf napkin, you just peel it apart so that you only have the 1-ply of it. Cover your whole candle in Mod Podge and put the whole napkin, and then the whole candle would be covered in that back and front. But I specifically just wanted the thankful and the pumpkin and the little like I don't know, like the little banner at the top, and I wanted to be able to put them where I wanted them. So that's why I cut the napkin up. But if you didn't want to do this, I'm telling you, this would be absolutely beautiful to Mod Podge an entire napkin onto the candle front and back. It would be just as beautiful. So you're going to see in a second how this turned out, and I think it turned out super cute. For my last project, I would like to make a door hanger. So we're going to use this cute pumpkin here from the Dollar Tree, this adorable little welcome owl sign. Well, he's like really a stick. We're going to use more of these leaves, more baker's twine. I told you that's like a theme. Again, you're going to need Mod Podge, and my new element is I'm going to be using lots of 12 by 12 cardstock that has different textures and themes, very fall style. And in order to cut them, I am going to use my cutter, but you don't need that, it's not necessary. So I want this pumpkin to be one all piece, so I just cut the hanging pieces off the back, except for this one that's over by the stem, so it has a place to hang. I just take some of my hot glue in between each piece and stick it together. That is not enough to keep this glued completely together. It was just enough to put it together so that I can go get some sticks. Now, I thought I had popsicle sticks. That's what I recommend, but I didn't. But what I did have some skewer sticks from the Dollar Tree from barbecuing. So I used some of them and the top to a brownie mix, and I just adhered them to the back with some hot glue so that there's something for the back of the pumpkin to like stick to, and it held fantastic. And now I have a cute, oddly shaped pumpkin. That's why I didn't pick up another one of those jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, because this one is more elongated and I wanted a different look. But there, as you can see, that's the back of the brownie box. I just ripped the tabs off of them, stuck them down with some hot glue. I'm gonna take the tops off those skewers, the pointy parts, I can't speak, and I'm gonna adhere them in the back of this pumpkin, and I'm telling you, it works great. I'm recording this the day after I made all of it, and my pumpkin is still hanging on my door with no problem. So I do recommend popsicle sticks, but if you don't have any, skewers work in a pinch. So next, I'm just going to take my 12 by 12 cardstock. I'm going to place it in my cutter. I did 2 at a time, and I'm just going to make thin strips. They're about 1 inch wide. You need the whole length of the 12 by 12 paper, and I'm just gonna put them in like a design on my pumpkin. I'm just gonna lay them out over the pumpkin after I get them cut and just find out what kind of design I like. I played with this. I don't show all of that because I fussed with that for like 15 minutes. And when I found the perfect like little design after I got them all cut, that's when we go on to our next step. So after I play with the papers for a bit and I find like the design that I like, all I did was take my tape gun and I put a little teeny bit, as you can see, just like a little teeny bit down, just so that they adhere to one another. I stacked them on top of each other so that I got a complete layout. And then because now they're kind of attached to one another, I can flip that paper over, put my pumpkin on top of it, and just like we did for the jack-o'-lantern one, I can trace it out and cut it. And then I will have the shape of the pumpkin that I need. So the tip for this is just to put a tiny little bit of glue, lay them on top of one another, they'll hold their form, and then you'll be able to flip it over and trace the pumpkin out. So now that I have the pumpkin traced out, I'm just gonna flip all the papers back over and do the exact same technique. I'm just going to put my Mod Podge down, lay my strips down, and then I'm going to put a layer of Mod Podge on top of the 12 by 12 cardstock papers, Give it time to dry. I used 2 coats on top because it is paper. I didn't want it to peel off. I let it dry completely, and then I moved on to the next step, which is taking some baker's twine to wrap just a small portion of the stem so that it hides where the paper is on the stem, because there isn't a clean transition there. But I really liked the dark stem, so I left it. And then it moves on to the last pieces, which is decoration. So I'm just going to move that stick off of our little owl. It comes right off. You just peel the back right off of it. It's metal, so it just like peels right off. And I'm going to get some more of my leaves, of course. I'm going to put them down where I think they look good, and I'm going to use hot glue to adhere them all. I just suggest that you once you put the hot glue down, hold it on to your frame, your pumpkin, whatever you're using, especially when you're using metal, because it does take a few seconds to adhere. If you are going to put this outside, I would recommend using like E6000 or something like that along with your hot glue, just because the sun will warm up your hot glue and then your owl and everything will probably fall off. Learned from experience. So if it is going outside, I would recommend using, a sturdier glue with your hot glue. But if you're just gonna like put this inside your home somewhere, hot glue works perfect. I'm gonna put my leaves down, and again, I'm going to make another baker's twine little bow and put it right in the center, and I think this turned out adorable. I love the papers. You can do this in so many different patterns, and if you didn't like it vertical, you could do it horizontal. However you liked it. It was time consuming, but it was actually very, very simple. And I really love how this one turned out. Okay guys, that's it for me today. I'm so glad that you joined me for some fall fun crafting. If you're new here, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and that bell and stick around for more fun, because there's so much more crafting to be had. And don't forget, I love to journal too. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. And as always, take care of you, stay blessed,